When we hear about gender-based violence, we know that social media goes for it. We know our media outlets goes for it because it's wrong. Then when the health minister of Gauteng, this province, announced that 23,000 teenage girls fell pregnant during 1 year, social media was abuzz. Imagine 23,000 girls pregnant. But have you ever thought about sexual grooming? Have you ever thought how sexual grooming affects women to make choices by the guys that they date, to fall pregnant at the age of 10, 14 years old? So let's talk about it. According to the criminal law on sexual offences and Amendment Act of 2007, sexual grooming means basically when a person comes and teach you to become sexual active. That is when you're a child or when you're a person living with a mental disability. Obviously, you can't give permission for that, eh? And also, when a person of authority, a teacher, a church leader, a father, a brother, anybody with authority in your life comes, steps up and decide they want to groom you into doing sexual acts. Department of Justice takes it further. They say that children are usually unaware that they're being groomed because they think that uncle is just nice because they trust him. Now, how does this happen? In our country, due to migration, we have to move from one city to another for employment. Our parents also had to leave us behind, and when they passed on due to HIV and AIDS and left the children there by granny or by auntie and uncle, and who must take care of them? So what happens? I need to share a bed with my sibling, or you have to share a bed with an older person, which is a family member or a friend, because there's no other way. And that is how sexual grooming can happen. It can also happen when, as I've mentioned, a teacher, a church leader, anybody with authority comes into your life and decide they want to misuse that trust that they have and start grooming you into these acts. There was a child named Courtney Peters. She was 3 years old. She was brutally killed by Mortimer Saunders, and he stayed in their house. He was her father's best friend, and he killed her. And no one expected this dude to kill a child that he knows from birth. And in court, when he confessed, it actually came out that he was scared she's going to say that they have a secret. He was scared she's going to say that he's doing things to me. And what are the things that I'm talking about? He's touching her. He's fiddling with her. Candace Derman, for those that watches Generations for years, she was the actress Blue. She wrote a book, Indescribable. Her stepfather, he sexually groomed her from the age of 8 until 14. Her mom was totally unaware. And all the publishers, when they advertised the book, they said the books give them chills. Why? In her own words, the events that happened to her was so horrendous. It was indescribable. She couldn't express it besides writing it in the book. And the publishers, they couldn't deal with it. Another example that I want to give you is, as a community activist, I work with children. And imagine, gentlemen, as you're sitting here, A 5-year-old child comes up to you, standing in front of you, looking cute, and starts rubbing their private parts against your legs. How would you feel? Will it make you uncomfortable? Will you enjoy it? I doubt. So I want to share a few warning signs when you suspect that somebody close to you is in such a situation or somebody within your community. Warning signs will be, for example, carers, parents, grannies, legal guardians. Warning signs will be when children start with behavioral differences, where you were used to having this sweet, innocent child and suddenly the aggressive, depressed, suicidal attempts, or they start involving themselves with risky behavior, starts drinking. A child at the age of 10 can't drink. Child at the age of 10 can't use drugs. Warning signs. When the child of 10 years old starts wetting the bed like they were when they were young, or a child starts sucking their thumb, obviously, that's red lights for you, eh? When they start having this inappropriate behavior, like I said, where they start rubbing the private parts against your legs, or they start playing in the little corner, you know, we used to play house, ne? They want to be mommy and daddy. They could sit and play in the corner, but nobody must see what they're doing. That is where they start acting out what they were taught. When they also start to refuse to undress, they don't want to bath because they're hiding. When they start having relationships with older people, but it's being kept a secret. Those are all warning signs that you need to look out for. Maybe it's not sexual grooming, maybe something else, but it's warning signs. So I would like to conclude by saying that as a country that's being ripped apart nearly every day because of gender-based violence, we need to start looking into sexual grooming. We need to start delving deeper in our own house, in our own family, in our own community, anywhere where there's children, where uncanny beings can take and rip their little sweet, innocent lives apart. We need to start seeing this as trauma. Like Candace said, indescribable. We need to start reporting, take legal action, report them, because they're not going to stop, no matter who's the perpetrator. We need to take responsibility for what's happening within our house. Teach your children or those that you're responsible for that there's a difference between a nice uncle and a creepy uncle. You have this body that God gave you, it's yours. This here is your privacy. You don't need to allow any aunties, uncles, moms, dads, teachers, pastors, or anybody else with authority if they make you uncomfortable. Teach them, stranger danger is not the stranger outside. It might be in your house. So today I would like to ask you, are you ready to talk about sexual grooming? Thank you.